Former President Jacob Zuma and French arms company Thales are heading back to the Pietermaritzburg High Court for the continuation of their fraud and corruption case. The case is in relation to the multi-billion rand arms deal in the late 90s. Today's date has been set down as a holding date by Judge Piet Koen, pending the finalisation of Zuma's appeal at the Constitutional Court in his pursuit for the recusal of lead prosecutor in his corruption case, Advocate Billy Downer. For more on the story, let's cross live now to our colleague Simphiwe Makhanya. Simphiwe, very good morning to you. Will the former president be in court today?
Well, good morning to you, Desiree, and good morning to the viewers as well at home. I'm not going to waste time, Desiree, because I do have the spokesperson of the Jacob Zuma Foundation, that's Mr. Simphiwe Makhanya, who is going to answer that question. But perhaps before I introduce him, Desiree, let me just inform our viewers in terms of what is expected to happen today here in court, as we are expecting Judge Piet Koen to get that update in terms of the processes that the accused in this particular matter, former President Jacob Zuma, has had to embark upon in order to try basically and challenge that decision which was issued by Judge Piet Koen here at this very court behind me. But let me get Mr. Simphiwe Makhanya, who's going to talk to us about, first and foremost, Mr. Makhanya, is the former president going to be present in court today?
No, also by permission of Judge Koen. As you know that today, the 17th of October, like all other holding dates, Judge Koen had already said that on all such holding dates, he's not required to attend, because basically a holding date is an administrative date where they agree what is the way forward. And the way forward today will be the briefing, as you already alluded to. Part of the briefing is informed by the recent Constitutional Court judgment issued on the 23rd of September, which made two fundamental points. The one point was contrary to the NPA's assertion. The reconsideration application that Judge President Maya decided on, the Constitutional Court said that decision is appealable. So that, in fact, was a big win for His Excellency President Zuma. That's the first thing. Secondly, the Constitutional Court has also made an open invitation, because as we speak here and now, the merits of the case have never been really dealt with. So the Constitutional Court has given an open invitation that His Excellency President Zuma can approach the Constitutional Court directly. So today, Judge Koen will be actually informed that that's a process that we've embarked on right now. So we can confirm on the record that basically the appeal process of Judge Koen's initial decision on the Section 106 application is now under appeal at the Constitutional Court.
Are we ever, though, Mr. Makhanya, going to see the end of these appeal processes by the Jacob Zuma Foundation when you look into this matter? Because a lot has been said about the Stalingrad tactics that the former president is accused of embarking upon. Why not just get this matter out of the way?
Two things. One, in terms of the Stalingrad, so-called Stalingrad tactics, Judge Koen himself is on record saying whatever President Zuma has done has been within the law, has been exercising his rights, and he has put to bed all those kinds of malicious characterization of Stalingrad. So we can put that out of the way. Secondly, so anyone that continues to say this is Stalingrad, so whoever is saying that is disrespecting Judge Koen's judgment on the issue. That's the first thing. Secondly, if indeed there was all this anxiety that this case must start, it's a simple thing. NPA, with all the hundreds and hundreds of prosecutors they have, why is it that they're insisting on a man that has got all kinds of issues to deal with? Right now we're dealing with an accused person in a criminal case that carries a 15-year sentence. How can an accused person like that be trusted to be free and fair and to do this case without bias? How is that possible? So it should have been automatic that with developments to date, NPA should have announced that the lead prosecutor now is somebody so-and-so who is nice and clean. So NPA, by its refusal, they are actually prolonging this whole matter.
So if the Concord, for instance, upholds the decision of Judge Piet Koen here, which basically dismissed the former president's application that Judge Piet Koen, the lead prosecutor in this particular matter is biased, where to then for the foundation?
I think it would be very dangerous to preempt the court and preempt it in such a negative way. Let's preempt it positively and say what happens if we get our way, you know. So I think let's leave the court, the constitutional court, to do its work and not try to lead it. Let's allow it to do its work, and we're very confident that the case that the legal team of His Excellency President Zuma have put in front of the Constitutional Court is a formidable case, and I think President Zuma will be victorious in that case. So let's not be preemptive. Let's wait for that Constitutional Court judgment.
Before I let you go, Mr. Manyi, the foundation has just issued a media alert about the media briefing on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. Can you shed some light into that? Who's going to address that briefing, and what is it about?
His Excellency President Zuma is going to address that briefing, but the details he's going to say it himself. I think all I can say is that South Africans must take an afternoon off and listen to that address. It's going to be a very powerful address. A few things are going to come out of that, but I can't even give you an inkling of what is going to be said. But all I can say is that it's a national address not to be missed.
Even that address too will not be postponed.
No, it will not be postponed. At 2 o'clock on Wednesday, His Excellency President Zuma will be there.
Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
That's the spokesperson of the Jacob Gedleyihlekisa Zuma Foundation, Mr. Mzwanele Manyi, joining us briefly. Let us now link back to you in studio, Desiree, as we go inside the courtroom.
Thank you so much. Simphiwe, of course, will endeavor to take you through to the court processes as soon as they begin.